Days 21 to 30. By this point, I'm not too worried about dying anymore. I would have to make a pretty big mistake to die at this point. My main concern is finishing all my tasks in 100 days. The hardest task to complete is definitely going to be killing every boss, so that's what I'm going to focus on. You can beat most of the bosses in the game with Rexes, which is why I've been breeding them, but I want Megatheriums for the spider. They get a huge boost to damage after killing a bug, and the spider boss is just a big bug, so it's kind of the perfect tame to kill it. I wouldn't figure this out until much later, but you actually can't really beat the dragon with Rexes. Warning! Only use herbivorous dino. Everyone here is carnivorous dino using 18 Rex image. That is one use herbivorous, maybe 4 Rexes to tame this and more, and the rest of my scary dino herbivorous. I think they're good like for my kids, even with ascended settlement, take all whack it. Anyway, I was looking for a high-level male and female Megatherium for breeding. I found the male really quickly, and knocking it out was pretty easy. The female, however, was a bit harder to find. While searching, I noticed a level 116 male Megatherium. And by this point, I'm sure you can already guess how this is going to go. This one wouldn't go in the damn cage, though, so I just put the cage around it instead. He stared into my soul as I knocked him out. I collected the male from earlier, and as the sun rose, I found a pump shotgun BP and a red drop. It was a horrible blueprint, but better than nothing, I guess. On my way home, I picked up the female. I'm starting to build up a lot of Rexes at base, and that means I'm running out of space. It's probably time to expand. But before I expand, I want to level up my new RG a bit. If I increase its weight capacity, it will make farming and expanding a lot faster. Now that it's leveled up, I can work on the base. I made a second smithy just for crafting stone structures, and boy was that a good decision. I filled it up completely, and then I expanded the base so much. No, I'm just kidding. What I actually did was procrastinate expanding the base for the next 5 days. That means it's time to distract myself with some meaningless things, like taming a 112 Bronto that spawned nearby. Brontos are like the best berry farmers in the whole... Okay, well it died. Anyway, a little annoying, but whatever. On to the next useless task. Remember when I briefly mentioned setting up a farm? Yeah, well, I haven't been able to figure out how to get seeds, so it isn't producing anything. Turns out my Thera can't farm seeds. How am I supposed to know that? That's fine though, because I still have that level 120 Parasaur I tamed on day 3. Got the seeds, just add a bit of fertilizer. The Rex army's real helpful for this part. And voila, a working farm. I said this was a useless task, but it really isn't. Crops are very helpful.
Wait a minute. Looks like someone isn't subscribed. Oh wow, you haven't even liked the video yet either. Well, I won't press the issue, but just don't forget, okay?
Now that the farm was working, I spent a little while planning out my base. I was going to build a large tower with 2 hallways extending outwards. At the end of each hallway, I would have a large room, and I could fill it with all kinds of things. Oh, and I could make the roof a landing area for flying dinos. I still have a few days of procrastination left, though, so it's on to something else. And that would be taming female Megatheriums. And I tamed them alright. Level didn't matter to me, I just wanted a few females to start breeding. This was a weird situation. Some of my taming techniques were better than others. The good thing about low levels is that they tame really quick. I finished this whole task before the end of the day. Day 25, I was back in the snow. This time, I wanted a Uranus. but I didn't find one, and I gave up after about 10 minutes. Back at base, I made a bunch of ceilings and foundations. The Rexes were starting to really take up a lot of space, so I wanted to add a big platform off the side of the mountain to put them all on. Didn't work though, because I forgot about stability. So I'm going to be repurposing those supplies to expand the base. Wasn't much expanding, because I was mostly focused on breeding Rexes and Megatheriums. And hey, my farm is finally working. Potato. Yep, I've spent enough time procrastinating. My base is overflowing with tames, and that number's only going up. It's finally time to expand. I decided to change up the base design to something a little more circular before expanding though. I'll leave the final design as a surprise for now. Since I'm expanding the base, that means I've got to do a lot of farming and a lot of building. But it was worth it. Look at that circle. And the walls I added on later, it's beautiful. I've still got a lot of things to add, but it's wait a minute. This hasn't helped me at all. I didn't gain a single millimeter of space from this. Actually, I think I lost some space. I'll finish the base later. I really need to expand outwards. Alright, I'm not gonna BS you. I spent all of day 27 building walls. These things are expensive, and I need a ton of them. Farm, craft, place, farm, craft, place, over and over. But wow, by the end, I had like quadrupled my space. Ignore this part, I got a little lazy. I could finally get all the Rexes out of my base. This was a big moment for me, because now I don't have to worry about space for the next 20 days. Oh, sorry if you wanted to see what the base was going to look like. It won't be built until I run out of space again. Now I can finally get back to work. And the first thing I'm going to craft is a chibi pet. This has been on the agenda for a while. It'll raise my max level to 110 instead of 105. But making it's going to take a little while. I've got to dry 10 pieces of prime meat, and each piece takes about an hour to dry, so it's going to be a few days. While I wait, I'm going to tame a beaver. They farm wood really well, and farming wood is really starting to piss me off. I figured the beaver would be an easy tame, but it wasn't. I need narcotics to tame one, and I didn't bring any. So no beaver, and I wasted about a day. This put a sour taste in my mouth, but it was instantly washed out when I found a level 116 male Rex. Amazing. He's going to be nearly 20 levels higher than my current male Rex. That's a big deal. Like, that's going to change which bosses I fight, big deal. But day 29 just kept giving. I brought back a beaver as well. And as the sun rose, so did my Rex. Look at the difference.
It's enough to make a grown man cry.
I don't need my old male anymore, but I kind of feel bad killing him. He served me well, so I'm gonna release him. Onto the wild, that is. I'll check in on him later. I want to test out my beaver now, though. Well, it could be worse. I can't tell if it's better than farming by hand. And that's a wrap for the 20s. These were some good days. I got a bunch done. Before I wrap up, though, you've probably noticed the days have been getting shorter. Every day in-game is about an hour long, but these past few days have been condensed into 30-second clips. It's mostly because my day is spent flying around the map, feeding my tames, or taking care of babies.
Thanks for watching. Days 31 to 40 will be releasing next Saturday. See you then.